Good morning. It is 10 o'clock in the state of Texas, and we are doing a St. Patrick's Day bowl. Why? Because it's St. Patrick's Day holiday week, and I found these cool necklaces at Hobby Lobby and have all this scrap wood and attempted to make a St. Patrick's Day bowl. And as you'll see here, it turned out kind of weird. So basically what we did is the same kind of setup that we usually will do in these projects. Have these beads you can see here. They're just little plastic necklaces that you can wear around your neck while sipping your green beer. And I thought it would be a good idea to put it in some resin, hoping it would float and make a cool blank. So here we are, got a shallow little bowl here, and I've already said about 5 times, but we're going to keep this commentary going. This is actually the first time I've kind of gone through this video while doing this commentary, and I had made a mistake, and I should have put them in first and then glued all of this down. You can see here I'm on the struggle bus trying to get these beaded necklaces in there, but they fit in there okay. It was just a little bit of a struggle initially to get all of that in there. But it looks really cool. They're very shiny, as you can see here, very nice and green. So I thought this would be a nice, festive project to do. And I had all this epoxy laying around, so I was like, hey, this is going to turn out great. And here we are. And I did mix a little bit of clear resin resin dye into the actual resin itself. Sorry for that. I don't know why it blacked out there. I don't know if you saw that. That'll come up in the main video, but it blacked out. Don't know why that happened. Trying to get better with these videos. So we got a very green bowl blank, as you can see here. And initially what I'm looking at looks amazing. Put it in the pressure pot, 4.5 hours, and got a really good casting. However, kind of disappointed that these clovers didn't float. I was expecting them to float. That's why I initially had put the that big cylindrical blank on top of it. And then they kind of faded a little bit too, so I'm going, okay, not as great as I was hoping. And this is what it looks like once we took it out of the mold. But I mean, it looked cool. Like, instead of that green color, they're more of like a golden type of color. And I was like, okay, cool. We can maybe work with this. Plus, I was really happy that I ended up dyeing the resin green, because if I hadn't done that, it would have just been like a kind of bleh kind of bowl. But we're going to put it on the lathe and see what kind of action that we get out of it. So put on the waste block that we usually do, and now we are just fitting on the faceplate. I made this early March when I made this, 2021. I know you guys are watching projects from 2020 still, because I have these videos stacked for almost a year because of work obligations. I'm not always able to get into the garage. So a lot of y'all have had questions about doing certain projects or suggesting certain projects, and there are a ton of projects I'm going to release during the summer and the later months. My schedule is about once a week on a Sunday, so you guys are watching a lot of stuff that I've done in the past. This bowl here, however, I've just completed within the past 2 weeks, so this is more recent. And sorry, for some reason, every time I zoom in the camera and the epoxy starts to fly on top of the camera, it zooms in like this, and I don't know why. Even though I'm kind of glad this happened, because it looks really cool, like when you zoom in like that. I don't have a photographer like watching me do this, so if you're wondering how I did that, I have no idea. It was a complete accident. So we got the actual blank on the lathe, and we're just turning down the bottom of it, getting that nice round edge. I'm trying to conserve as many of those little clovers as humanly possible, because they didn't float like I initially wanted them to. So I'm just trying to have some semblance of those during this project. And up until this point, things are going relatively well. Nothing's flied off the lathe. You can see there we're getting really good shavings off, really good ribbons, and I'm having a pretty good go of it up until this point. And we're just shaving down the bottom. And as you'll see here, the clovers don't look, all that spectacular. They're a little bit white. Actually, they're real white. So that cool green golden color is pretty much gone. And I realize, okay, we're gonna have not the greatest St. Patrick's Day project, but in the spirit of it, it's still good. You get the overall theme there. So once we got everything nice rounded down, then I just took the square carbide tool and we're just making that round mortise on the bottom of it. Everything up until this point is going real good. I have that big block of wood on the bottom. So pretty easy transition making that mortise there. And here we are removing that top waste block that we used on with the hot glue. And as you see in the background, I've discovered that if I put blocks of wood on the back, you know how I usually push everything to the back of the workbench so it doesn't dance off? I've realized that if I just put blocks of wood there, it stabilizes it a little bit better so I don't get as much dancing. So as you'll see in some upcoming videos that I'm going to release from 2021 or from 2020, that's something that I just only recently now discovered. So the way the videos release, it's not a good representation of where I'm at woodworking skill-wise, but this is something more up to date. So I have gotten better. You guys are going to watch videos from, again, as I said, from 2020, and my skills have definitely improved. So this is something a little bit more recent. So once we got it reversed on the chuck there, now we're just evening everything out nice and level, trying to get that superficial layer off, taking the sweet time. You can see there I'm covered in shavings, and now we're starting the fun part, which is the gouging, which I'm not a big fan of this part because I usually have a lot of problems with it, but this actual project went really well. That pine board was really nice and smooth. Was able to gouge it out fairly quickly. As you can see here, I mean, we're obviously speeding up the video, but I remember this project having not as many issues, and everything went very smooth using the bowl gouge itself, and then coming back hitting it with a round carbide tool and some of the medium chisels, getting that nice edge done as evenly as possible. And we're just gouging out the depth of it, trying to get everything as deep as possible without breaking through to the other side of the mortise. And again, was not as happy as I wanted it to be as far as those clovers and those necklaces floating, but it turned out pretty good with the green side of the bowl. I swear, I promise next year we're going to do a better project for this holiday, but overall it was a really good project. We're really making strides as far as woodworking, and we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2021. So if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I put out a new video every Sunday, and I've actually gotten a lot better. So this is a pretty good accurate representation of where we are as far as like skill level. And like I keep saying, a lot of the videos that are going to come out were from 2020, but there's still some cool projects coming out, and then we're just waiting for the summer for things to warm up in the garage, and we're going to do some tables, epoxy tables, another crayon table, do something a lot different, maybe get another lathe possibly, so we'll see. So here we are pretty much toward the end of the project. We're just working the lip of the bowl, getting the sides of the bowl gouged out as evenly as possible, and just making it as thin as possible as well. I don't like the lips of the bowls to be too thick. I think that takes away from the aesthetic. Some of the bowls I'll do have thicker lips or sides, but this one, I went pretty thin with it. So here we are doing our sanding, going all the way up from 340 grit, and then we'll do the wet sanding with the micro mesh pads here in just a little bit. I know nobody likes sanding. God knows I hate it. But it's something that you have to do if you want these bowls to have any semblance of looking decent. And here we are with the micro mesh, almost done with it. Not happy again. You'll see those clovers not looking all that aesthetically pleasant, but it's the theme that counts. So I show failure on this channel. I'm not afraid to show you my mistakes, and we definitely made some during this particular project. But overall, good shape of the bowl, good size, and we saved it. It's not a complete failure. You can go back and watch some of my very early woodworking projects. A lot of failures, but overall, hope everybody's having a good St. Patrick's Day. This will come out the week of St. Patrick's Day. Hope everybody's staying safe. And here is the end project. You can see here, you get a little bit of the clovers, but you also get these weird white speckles that are in there. So you kind of don't know what you're looking at up until the point where you're just really zoomed in on it. But that green epoxy dye, adds to the theme a little bit. We were using East Coast resin on this particular project. Stop saying particular. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the project, and then I will check you guys out in the next video. We're making good things over here. Don't forget to subscribe. Alright, peace. Okay, so the project is done, and here it is. I am not incredibly too happy with this. This little St. Patrick's Day bowl. I didn't know that, first of all, that these weren't going to float. I'm sure I went over that in the commentary. I should have used a skew on the edges of it. It went really smooth. It was well balanced, but it just doesn't, I could have done better. And I probably am going to come back and make another one of these. But I mean, the concept is there. It's a bowl, obviously. It didn't fly off the lathe. It looks good. The translucency is good. But overall, I'm going to give this a C- in execution. So we're going to come back, try another one. But I hope you liked it. Hope everybody's having a good holiday. But we're going to try again. You know, these are all, working. You got to work the problem. But didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But that's not going to stop us from trying again. So, hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it at least. Hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. Today is actually March 8th, I think. Wait, let me check my phone. Nobody makes it to this mark, so, March 7th, Sunday. So, yeah. we're going to try again. We're going to reboot it, try again. But, there it is. Something. All right, so don't forget to subscribe. Catch you guys in the next project. Bye.